YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy Noel Blends. We are back at it again with another haircut tutorial. We are going to be doing a mid-drop fade, and I'm going to show you guys step by step what I do to achieve this type of look. Other than that, it's your boy Noel Blends, and let's get right into it. So the first thing I start off doing is wetting my client's hair, just making sure it's nice and damp. That way I can control their hair. We are going to give them a little bit of texture. Just point cut the top. We're basically not going to follow a crazy guideline, just going to go straight back and side to side basically. Keep in mind, this is just the way I do it. There is other ways to do it, probably even better ways, but this is just what's helped me out. A lot of times people do sectioning, like really precise sectioning, but whenever you're super busy and don't really have enough time, this is probably the best way to just trim the top or give it texture. So after I finish cutting the top, I do add a little bit of hair serum. This is the level 3. I do this just so it can soften up the hair and just protect it from burning when I blow dry it. So I'm gonna start off by debulking his side a little bit. He don't have a lot of bulk, but I just want to do it just to. I always like to do this with my clients, and just so I can know where I'm gonna put my blend exactly at. This is the number 2 guard, lever fully open, and we're just debulking with it, creating a nice foundation for our blend. Next, what I'm doing is I'm going in with my thinning shears and my taper comb. We're just going to go straight up and debulk a little bit off the top. That way it's not super heavy. Basically, we're just creating shape as we're going. Next, what you want to do is grab your 0 gap trimmers and start about the midway point and create an exaggerated drop. This is a mid drop fade. We are going to go under his occipital bone, and we're just going to try to make it as neat as possible for the first initial bald guideline. Next, we're gonna go in with our babyless shavers and just go all the way to the top, just making sure everything's nice and down to skin. Let the shaver do its work, don't put crazy pressure. If the shaver's good, it's gonna take it down all the way to skin. You don't gotta put such a heavy hand to it. Next, we're going to go in with our half guard lever fully closed and create about a 1/2 inch guideline. just following the same exact drop, making sure it's as neat as possible, keeping the blade flat for the most part. Now we're gonna take off that bottom first initial guideline we created, and with the lever fully closed, and we're gonna go right on it and just flick right on it. Open it a little bit if you have to, about a quarter. You don't need much. If you have to play with it, go ahead, but go right on it and just break the line. Now we're gonna go back with our zero gap trimmers, the same trimmers that we used to set in the bald guideline, and we're just gonna get any little stubble that my clipper missed. Once we finish that off, we're going to come in with our 1.5 guard lever fully closed and create about another 1/2 inch guideline. Keeping the blade flat, making sure everything's nice and even and as neat as possible. Once we finish that up, we're going to come in with our 1 guard lever fully open and copy the same exact thing we just did with our 1.5 guard. Keeping the blade flat, we're just going to start to sandwich our blend now and just start to fade down basically. Right here, we're going to close it halfway and we're going to do the same exact thing, just a little bit lower now, keeping the blade flat still. As you guys can see, the blend's starting to come together. And then we fully closed it, and we're gonna go right in that middle ghost line. It's not gonna take it out completely, but it's just softening everything up for our next step. Next, what you want to do is grab your 1/2 guard lever fully closed, and we're gonna utilize our corners and take the rest of that remaining ghost line out. Just go right on it, and with this step, you do want to be a lot more careful. Just give it more of a flick. Once you see it come out, just leave it alone. If it's not coming out, we can always jump back down and start to detail the blend. Next, what you want to do is grab your number 2 guard, and we're just going to connect the top bulk with the bottom blend. Basically not creating a guideline, but just softening up all the dark area, just going straight up with it, not really creating a guideline. Number 2 guard lever fully open. Once you finish that off, we're going to come in with our 1.5 guard lever fully open and just go a little bit underneath that and just lightening up the dark area. As you guys can see, we're going right on the dark spots. Sometimes it may not come out, but we're going to come in and soften everything out, with our thinning shears. So once you finish that up, we are going to detail the blend now. This is where the detailing starts. This is probably one of the most important steps out of the whole blend, is you want to make sure everything is nice and blended how you want it to be, and just step back and give it a look. That way you guys can see the dark areas and go back and hit it with whatever you need to, with the one, with the no guard, with the thinning shears. So right here, I'm going in with my thinning shears, just trying to soften up any little dark area I see, trying to make it look as smooth as possible. I do recommend you guys get a taper comb, which is the ones with the bigger teeth and the smaller teeth on the other side, the one I'm using currently. That way you guys can really utilize the smaller teeth and get in there in the really tight dark area spots. And as you guys can see, I'm just working at it, just trying to get it as best as possible, as smooth as possible. So all we got left is just to do his line up, his edge up, and just add a little bit of enhancements. We are going to do his beard and fade it in and line it up as well. So just in case you guys forgot how my client came in looking like, this is how he sat in my chair, and this is how he's leaving my chair. The cut came out super clean, super fire, simple, mid-drop fade, trim on top with a little bit of texture. If you guys like this haircut, please leave a comment, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, that way you guys get alerted every time I drop a new video. Follow me on Instagram at Noel Blends, on TikTok at Noel Blends. If you guys have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them. DM me on Instagram. I will always answer to you guys. Other than that, it's your boy Noel Blends, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace.